Hi, this is Rachelle at Scrapcraftastic, and I kind of want to do a little experiment and share with you how I made this policy envelope style folio that I have in the winter journal. So here it is. It flips out like this. It flips out. I adapted that, just the base of it, not all the embellished pieces, but I adapted it from a policy style folio. So it wasn't initially connected to anything. I redid the measurements so that I could connect it. Now I'm thinking that I can use two of them to actually make a journal cover, but we're not going to do that here yet. I'm going to show you how to make the standalone piece, and hopefully I can remember how to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and trim off this top strip because this needs to be 12 by 12. And I'm not sure what paper pad this paper came from. It was in a storage container that I have just pieces of scrapbook paper in. So I don't know what paper pad it was in. It looks like it has a Halloween theme actually, because I see little spiders and ravens on here, or crows, I don't know. So it's probably in a Halloween paper bag. But if I didn't tell you that, you probably wouldn't know it. So I'm gonna make this approximately 8.5, 8 by 5. I think I'll just go with 8 by 5. That way, if I want to use it as an insert for another journal or something, I can do that. All right, so I'm gonna use my scoreboard. You'll have to determine what is top and bottom for you. I don't think it's going to matter that much with this paper. It doesn't seem like it is, but I'm going to put my top to the left and I am going to score at 1.5. So the paper, 1.5, and then I'm going to score at 10. Then I'm going to turn it back with the top at the top, and I'm going to score at 5 3/4 and 6 1/4. Oops, 6 1/4. That's going to give me 1/2 inch in the center. So maybe you can see those score lines. So the piece at the top going to be my top flap. Piece at the bottom is going to be my bottom flap. Then it will fold like this and like this. Okay. So you can decide which way you want your policy closures to fall, or banker's closures. We don't need this little rectangular piece in the middle. You can cut that completely off or fold it over to reinforce your spine. If you want to reinforce your sides, you could score a 1/2 inch on each side and again cut the corners off. Fold that centerpiece in as reinforcement. Should I do that? Let me check my width of this real quick. So leaving it like this is giving me 5 3/4. If I score it at a 1/2 inch on either side and fold that in, and I could like use that as an overlay, I could actually turn this into its own journal. Okay, technically I don't have to do that. So let me show you what it would look like if I didn't do that. So I'm just going to cut right outside the score line here, just like on the very edge of it. Now, technically, you could just cut this piece out completely, but I'm just going to fold it up and use that as reinforcement. So then that would be glued to that. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here on the top piece. And this would fold down like this. So these will act as your policy closures. All right, you can round the corners. I'm not going to do it yet because I'm going to add an additional score to make an additional fold to reinforce. But let me glue this. Um, let's test out the Dollar Tree Little. Let's see how it is. I'm just gonna put a little bit there just to hold that out of the way. Okay. So this would be a top flap. This would be a bottom flap. Okay. And it could be just like this. You could fold it the opposite way if you want to, like this. Of course, you can cover the white. So this could be the outside of your insert or however you're going to use it. Or you could leave that as the outside and flip these over onto the inside so that you'd have just a plain cover. Then inside would be the policy envelope. I think I did it kind of like this, where the outside actually, let me turn it back around, where the outside had the flaps like this. And then when you folded it on the inside, other panel had flaps, something like that. Mine was more of a zigzag version. Anywho, this is the base, and you can build on it from there. Okay. So I'm going to build on it from there. As the basics, I scored at 1.5, 10. Then I turned it, scored at 5 3/4 and 6 1/4. All right. Then we'll get rid of the two middle pieces. Instead of cutting them completely off, I just folded them in as reinforcement. Now we're going to reinforce the sides. So let me get my scoreboard here. All right. So on each side, I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch. All right. So that's going to change our finish size and make it smaller. Also, if you're doing one, if you're turning this into a journal and you're doing one signature, which with a spine this small, you'd have to probably do one. You can easily increase the width of the spine. It's just going to decrease the width of your cover. But doing that, it changes the width from 5 3/4 to 5 1/4 because I put the reinforcement on the side, which is fine. I'd have to trim the letter size paper if I use it as a journal and use 8.5 by 11 paper in it, but that's fine. I can't believe I pulled this paper out to actually possibly use in a Valentine's Day journal. But so I'm going to cut the four corners out. And I don't need them for reinforcement. All right, so I'm going to take my corner rounder and how do I do this? I want to round these little flaps. I know there's a way to do it, but I can't think of it. So I'm going to go ahead and round the, these flaps, the big flaps, the 1 inch and the 1.5 inch and the, I'm going to use the big one, and the 2 inch. So here, I want to round these corners. Okay, this is how I do it. Fold that back and then round. There we go. So fold this back out of the way, and then I can round the corner. All right, so this is the shape that we end up with. Now, this would fold down and be glued down. This would be folded down and be glued down. Depending on how you're covering this, if you're leaving this white, it's fine the way it is. You could go ahead and glue this. If you're stenciling or spraying, stamping this, I would leave the flaps unglued until all of that's done, or these little reinforcement tabs, I guess you would call them. I will leave them open until that is done. Then go ahead and glue these down. If you're covering it with another piece of scrapbook paper, I would cover it first and then glue these down, but you can glue your cover on top, however you want to do it. But you just need to decide how you want it all to fold. If you want this out here, you can do that. If you want this in here, you can do that. All right. And then you would just fill it up with paper, however you want to do it. I think I would want mine folded on the inside and then maybe do another version of this as a topper on the outside. I think that would be cool. And if you want this to be a heavier weight, stronger, more like a cover, adding a matting on the inside would take care of that. Okay, so I am working on a Valentine's Day style journal. I know. I said I wasn't going to, but I couldn't help myself. You know, I really don't like making stuff for Valentine's Day. But anyway, so what I'm gonna do, even though this is Halloween, I'm gonna use it for Valentine's Day. And this will be probably an insert for that project. If not, then I'll just have it be a standalone piece. So this is a digital that I printed from my Love Notes journal kit collection. I'll link to it in the description box below. I believe it was from Love Notes. I printed it on the back of, I had a misprint, and then the original design on the back of this was something that I couldn't use for commercial use, so I just repurposed the paper. And I talked about that in a video where I'm doing Use It, Finish It on my other channel, Journal Life's Journey, if you want to check that out, where I am going through my stash, getting rid of the things that I don't need, and figuring out how to use the things that I want to keep. I'm going to make this fit here. So I'm going to use this to cover the white of the main area of this piece. But I need to start trimming it down. I don't want to fold it to make it fit. I want to cut it to make it fit because I don't want it to go over the folds here. So let's go ahead and cut this. And I want to keep the spine piece intact if I can, so that I can use it on the spine in the actual, on the main piece. So let's put that. And I still think I'm going to have to trim some more off. So let's go ahead and do that on the top edge here. I want to make sure that I'm clearing the folds. And I don't think we're clearing very well on that one. So I'm going to trim a little bit more off this outside edge. So let me check the top and bottom if those clear. I think they do. Yeah. So just the edge, just a slither. So I am going to ink everything up also. So this will go here, and this will look like this. Do I like that? Or it can look like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put them on the inside, I think. I think. I'll probably change my mind. Then this piece is to go here. I put that down. I think I need to cut a slither off of this too. So let's do it. I'm trying to cut a little slither off both sides and make it as straight as possible so that that little fold design piece will be in the middle. I didn't do a great job of it, but I tried. All right, so I need to reinforce this fold because I got a feeling I'm going to end up putting eyelets to hold this piece in, and that this piece will actually hold a journal inside. Now I could make more flippy flaps on this. I could attach envelopes. This isn't a good example, but I could attach envelopes to this and have flaps instead of gluing it down, but I'm just gonna glue it down. Let me go ahead and ink, figure out if I'm gonna use some of my DIY fabric tape, or I could use some of the Tim Holtz fabric tape to tape it. Do I have a good color here that could work? Maybe I can use this. This is kind of thick though. You wouldn't see much of it. Um, I don't know. Let me see what else I have to play with. For the inside, I am going to use washi. Why not? And I'm going to use some Simply Gilded washi. If I can get my drawer out. Let's use something a little more red. Let's use this. Just going to add some glue. Let me glue these down better because I just used that Dollar Tree dot tape runner. And I know that's not down as good as it could be. So let's get it down a little bit better. Might as well get some use out of my washi, huh? Do I want to use tape to reinforce the top and bottom? Let's see how that's going to look. Like I said, most of it will be covered. Probably the red would look better, or pink. Should I use pink? I was thinking strictly Valentine's Day, but I think pink could look nice too. And it doesn't have to be Simply Gilded. Okay. Executive decision. I'm going to change it if I can get it back. I should be able to because that glue isn't dry yet. Then I'll just stick these on my camera rig so I can possibly get some use out of them later. Now this is just random washi that I don't even know where it came from. And let's see how that folds. Folds good. Yeah, I think the fabric might have been a little too much for this. Now, do I want to ink the edges in red or do I just want to leave it? I've got to do something here, but I don't have to ink. I could just use the washi tape. Let's use the washi tape and let's put it down now. Reinforcement done. Let's add the panels. Let's glue this down. I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac. I think I got that right. Let's do this. I might have wasted some ink, but I didn't waste my paper. Do you think it's horrible that it has spiders? And you wouldn't even know if I didn't tell you. You'd have to look really close to see all of that. This little raven right here is concerning, but I think it's okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue these flaps down before I decide I want to add something to them because I like to do too much and that would be entirely too much. All right, let me let that dry. And then I'll hit it with my glue eraser. Yeah, it's still too wet for that to work. So that's our base. Now I need to find something to cover these with. I still kind of feel like I want these to go out here. Should I do that? All right, so this is another misprint, reprint, and it is also from Love Notes, Junk Journal Kit. So I'm just gonna cut my strips. Let's do the top first, 1.5 inches, and then the bottom is 2 inches. And I may have to trim a little bit off of that, or maybe I should just make it a little bit shy, but I got enough to make a mistake with. So I'm definitely gonna have to trim these down, but I kind of knew that I would. So let's let that dry, and then I'll trim it when I'm sure nothing is going to move. While we're waiting on this, I'm going to use this for my closures. Um, there are some new digitals available in a variety of places, one of which is Patreon. These are my art cards. I did a more vintage look this year, so every month one of these is released. This is the one for February. I'm going to use a version of this with this. Again, I'm doing this whole folio junk journal style journal for February, and I want to hurry up and get finished so I can have time to do something for Black History Month as well. But yeah, so I'm going to use her. I just had a thought maybe I could combine the two, but I don't think I want to. And I may make another folio, something like this, to do my Black History Month. But I'm going to use her with this. Just probably need to reduce the size. Then these are the releases for the YouTube channel members for Scrapcraftastic. And these are the three designs. I just printed them letter size. This is just on regular 32-pound paper. I set my setting for HP presentation paper. I have to do that if I want to print all the way to the edge. But this is what they look like on just regular paper. And these are a March theme, but I'm trying to release things at least a month ahead. So February came out in January already. So if you're looking for February, those have already expired. So if you are interested in becoming a member, the join button is below. If you don't see it, there is also a link in the description box below. My usual schedule for posting them is the first of the month, around the first of the month, and then sometimes, hint, hint, there is a bonus release during the month. So, and they're only good for the month that they are released. So these will expire at the end of February. So make sure you go ahead and join if you haven't. Get your downloads. If you're already a member, members, remember to get your downloads. Okay. And then this is a freebie Friday. It says Survive and Thrive. And there she is. The freebie Fridays come in just one size. I'll put a link to the file in the description box below and you can check it out. So, because they're no longer just in the Facebook group, and I also have a Discord now. So, if you would like to join the Discord, how do I want to do that? I'm going to pin a comment. The Discord links are only good for a limited time, but I'll pin a comment under this video with a link to the Discord if you would like to join. So, if you were opposed to Facebook, we are moving the Facebook group to Discord. So, if you would like to get in, the link is going to be down there in the comments. All right, so that is everything of that. I still need to trim these, but I'm going to go ahead and punch myself some tabs because Instead of putting my eyelets actually in the flap, I think I'm gonna put a tab on with the eyelet in it. I kinda like that look. So I need 4, and this is just regular red cardstock, probably from Michaels. So these are gonna go on here like this and like that. It looks a little odd, but I think it'll be fine. Let me go ahead and trim these up. I'm not even gonna try and round the corners. I'm just gonna use the punch to do it. I really feel like I need to ink, but I'm trying not to. I just do not like the white edge. Maybe I could use some gold. Should I ink with gold? Because I did use some gold on some of the other pieces that I'm going to use for this. Now's the time to decide, do I want to use gold ink? All right, gold ink is probably dried up because I've had it for forever. Let's see if this even works. Very subtle, but it works. I wonder if I spray this with some water, will it waken it up? And I know you're not supposed to do that, but I mean, this ink pad is super duper old. So I don't think it's gonna hurt anything. It didn't do a lot, but it did a little something. All right, let's get back to this. So should I use gold violets? Let's see what we got here. I could use the pink. This is orange. This is red. I use pink. I don't want to use the gold. I use the gold. I think the pink is the way to go. Let's do pink. So I need 4 bottom pieces. Now, all I need to determine is which direction these front flaps are going to go. I'm pretty sure the inside flaps are going to go on inside. So I guess I can do these first. Or the right side flaps are going to go on the inside. What am I saying? So these will go here. So let's go ahead and do our setting of the eyelets. Should I just do all of them at one time? That's why these are good hole punchers. Because it punched 4 pieces of cardstock. It probably could have did more. I think the pink looks a little eh, but I'm going for it. Make sure that's good and tight. I think it may be time for a new one of these. I think I have worn this thing out. I think a piece just broke off of the black part here. Maybe I'm just squeezing it too hard. I don't know, but I've had this for a long time too. I still got my big bite though. I could use the big bite. It's just easier to use the handheld one than the big bite. Let's see. Seems okay. Let's do it. Did I do that wrong? That had a ring already on it. See that? Oh well, I'm leaving it. Actually, I'm gonna put it on the front. I didn't even realize it had that on there already. There we go. Now let's do the sides again. I think I'm gonna go outside with this. I wish I would have known that sooner, but it's okay. We're gonna go outside. So this is gonna go like this. Put this one at the top since it has that extra silver ring around it. There we go. There we go. So does that give Valentine's, even though we got a big old crow right there? Didn't have told you. Plus, it's gonna probably have another fun piece in there. A little something like this. I might even make her like another folio piece to go in there. I just need to print her on something different, something smaller. All right, let me find some ribbon or twine or something for this. All right, so here are my choices. I don't have any thin red ribbon. Now, I was thinking pink, but I decided to go with red because the ribbon that I used on the other part is red. I just don't know if I should use the twine. Both of these are from Dollar Tree. Both of these. Um, this looks more orange than red. Might just use this. Let's go on and do this. To be honest, this is kind of all I want to do lately is craft and create things. I wonder what that means. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I need some engagement, y'all. I need y'all to comment, like the video. 'Cause I'm falling off over here on this channel. I really am. I was thinking about even doing a video discussing what's happening to my channel. I know I've moved the planning away, but it was not doing that great before I moved the planning away. So there is that. Tie this back up. All right. So with this being done, say if you want to send this as Happy Mail, then you would just have scored at 6 and made it flat. I mean, you could still use it as Happy Mail like this, but you could tuck your stickers in here. You could add a couple of pockets here. I left this because it was like a writing paper and I'm using this as a journal cover, but you could use this as a standalone piece. You tuck some goodies in here, a note. Yeah, you could make a special little pocket here for a gift card. You could even add some things to the back, maybe add a couple of envelopes and add some more goodies in there. But that is that. So what is this? A double policy folio, and I will also come back and probably do a Black History version, and I'll probably turn that into an expanded folio journal using two 12 by 12s. But let me know what you think if you would be interested in that. And I know this is a change, but this is what I'm inspired to do at the moment. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, found it helpful. We did use a little bit of planner supplies with the washi tape to reinforce. Um, yeah. So, and again, this is a digital. I'll link to it in the description box below. This is just regular cardstock. The pattern scrapbook paper was just some that I had in my stash. This is also a digital. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. You will be seeing this again along with a few other things. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and select all for your notifications so you don't miss anything. Again, if you are interested in becoming a channel member, the button is under this video or you will find a link in the description box below. And if you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment. Thanks for watching and I'll talk to you later. Bye.